What up YouTube, it's your boy ProfessorStix and I'm back again with another Call of Duty Warzone video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you 12 game-changing tips to help you instantly get better in Warzone. If this is your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I make tips and tricks videos and I compare the best weapons in Warzone so you can rise to the top. Let's get into it. Now, the number one tip is use loadouts that support your team goals. If most people are sniping on your team, you should also rock a sniper or a long range weapon. The worst thing that can happen is you're playing with your squad, they're all rocking snipers and you have an SMG and a mid-range AR, and you're spending most of your time just pinging enemies. If you're going to be camped up at a top, holding power positions, make sure you're rocking something like an HDR, a CAR, an SPR, a long range weapon so you can contribute to your team. If everybody is going for that run and gun style, then yes, rock an SMG and a mid-range AR so that you can help out and ultimately get to the goal, which is to win more Warzone games. Listen, you need to rock a loadout that supports the team goal. High kill games or holding positions, fighting from a distance, whatever the goal is, make sure you're rocking a loadout that supports that goal. Which leads me to the next tip, which is pick the right perks, tacticals, and lethals for your playstyle. A lot of people just rock the old cold-blooded Ghost/Overkill and Amped, but there are a lot of other perks that are really good. High Alert is great for aggressive playstyles because it alerts you if somebody is looking at you from a direction where you're not seeing them. Restock can also be great for aggressive playstyles, for replenishing stuns, flash grenades, Semtex C4s, or for holding power positions when you're using claymores or bouncing betties. Having the right tacticals is essential to winning more gunfights. Not everybody should have a heartbeat on your team. Some people should use stuns, flashes, even gas grenades can be amazing to use. Most people run Semtex and C4s, but thermites can be amazing for cutting off pathways. Claymores can be used for holding buildings. Work with your team to make sure your loadouts, your perks, and your tacticals and lethals ultimately are helping the goal of winning. Now, this leads me into number 3 because I know a lot of people are concerned about their stats. They're concerned about their KD. They want to make it to the end game. Start sniping. When I started sniping, I saw that I was staying alive longer and my KD was also increasing. I'm telling you guys, if you want to start making incremental growth to your KD, start holding power position and taking fights from a distance using snipers. You can get 3 kills and not be in any danger of being downed or thirsted because you're fighting from a distance because you're using a gun like the HDR, the AX50, the SPR, or any of the new Cold War snipers like the Tundra or the Pellington. Okay, don't use the Pellington, but I'm telling you, you need to start sniping. The key to improving your KD is to die less and win more gunfights. And the best way to do that is to take fights from a distance and put yourself in positions where you can't get thirsted. Which brings me to my next tip, use misdirection in gunfights. You need to be constantly moving and repositioning to help you win more gunfights. Holding one position, waiting for somebody to re-peek can be the cause of death. You need to keep your opponent guessing. I'm telling you guys, if you want to start winning, don't just hold one position and wait for them to come for you. Take a couple shots, reposition, down somebody, go to another position and down another opponent. This is how you take on more than one opponent at the same time, by using misdirection, keeping your opponent guessing, which brings me to tip number 5, keep your crosshairs centered. If you can keep your crosshairs centered while moving around the map, I'm telling you, it's going to help you win a lot more gunfights. I know we get into the habit of looking down while we're looting, but keeping your crosshairs centered can be a game changer. When you keep your crosshairs centered, it keeps your weapon aimed at the chest/head portion of your enemy, and this allows you to react faster. Nothing is worse than when your crosshairs are aimed at somebody's legs and then you start shooting, then you have to readjust to try and hit their head or their chest so you can down them very fast, and they are already shooting at your head. If your crosshair is already centered, you're looking at places where somebody can potentially shoot you from. This is going to help you win a lot more gunfights because you're going to be able to react a lot faster. Going on to the next tip, use vehicles as distractions. Listen, you can pull off a lot of great plays using vehicles as distractions. A lot of players get caught up shooting at the vehicle, and this allows you to jump out and get in a few shots. But make sure you're doing this at the best opportune time. If you're in a one-on-one gunfight, or if you're using the vehicle as a distraction so your team can get the drop on your enemy. Drive past the enemy, let your teammates come up and get those kills while everybody is locked in and aimed at you. But make sure you have a trophy on your vehicle because C4s are back and you don't want to get blown to bits. Going into the next tip, have a positive attitude and stay calm. This is right smack in the middle because honestly, a lot of times when we're playing Warzone, we get flustered, we start getting negative thoughts. Oh, I suck, I'm shit, all of these other things. But I'm telling you, if you have a positive attitude and you remain calm, this can be crucial to your performance. Look at the top athletes in the world when they're shooting free throws. When it's time to make a clutch play, they are calm and collected. Look at the top pros. Watch some of these guys when they're streaming in tournaments. They are calm and collected. As soon as you start getting a negative attitude, as soon as you start blaming other people, blaming the game, that's when your performance starts to go down because you're not as locked in. If you feel like you aren't having a good day, take a deep breath, remind yourself why you're playing, and if it's not the right reasons, take a break. Warzone is a game and you should be having fun, not stressing out. This brings me to the next tip, which is tip number 8. Use doors to your advantage. Closing doors behind you after you walk through them and using them for misdirections is a huge play, especially if you want to get the drop on a team. When you barge through a door and then you close it and you hide right behind the door and that team follows in because they think you're running up the stairs or running somewhere else, you can get the drop on them right there. Another thing you can do is ADS and open a door. This reduces the noise. If you open a door, normally you get that swing sound effect. Obviously, if you run through a door, you get that bang sound effect. But if you ADS and open a door, it does a slight peak. Now you can push open the door. So these are some tips so you can start using doors to your advantage. Next tip, make sure you're using the best settings. Oh my gosh, I am amazed at how many people still have a circle map. You need to get the square map. It increases how much you can see on your mini map by almost 25 to 40%. So you definitely must use the best settings. Set up your sensitivity. If you feel like your sensitivity is too high, lower it by a notch. If you feel like your ADS sensitivity is too high, lower that by a few notches. You need to set up your sensitivity so that you can be at your best and you can play with the best settings for you. If you're on PC, adjust your field of view. I've gone from 120 to 100 to 110, just testing out different things to figure out what works for me. If you're on PC, use those NVIDIA filters. You might get a hit on your FPS, but it's going to allow you to see the game a lot more clearer. There are so many settings that you can change in Warzone to make your game a lot better. So use the best settings. Now this takes me into tip number 10. Learn to play claw, mouse and keyboard, or invest in paddles. Taking your game to the next level can be hard, and sometimes you need to invest in tools to level the playing field. Playing claw is free and can help with certain movements like drop shotting, bunny hopping, or moving around the map faster because you're keeping your thumbs on the important joysticks and you're using your pointer finger to open doors, to loot, to change weapons. This can be huge in gunfights. Now, if you switch to mouse and keyboard, kudos to you, you're an absolute beast because pointing and shooting is very easy to do. And once you learn how to track your aim, is going to be God tier. But this is the thing, you now unlock a new array of movement potentials and combinations because you have keybinds that you can attach to certain behaviors and certain actions, which is going to make your gameplay a lot smoother. Lastly, if you got the money, invest in some paddles. This can be a lot easier and will not make it necessary for you to learn claw. A lot of the times when you see somebody bunny hopping, they're drop shotting, they're doing a lot of these movements, you're like, how are they doing it? It's because they're either playing claw, they're on mouse and keyboard, or they've invested in paddles. Number 11, mobility is important in Warzone, so have a vehicle around. Keeping a vehicle around with you with a trophy can be a game changer in moving around the map late circle, especially if the circle is in an open area. When I've had a Bertha late in that circle, I can use it for cover, I can use it to run over people if we're in an open area, or like I said, I can use it for a distraction. Just remember, Warzone is about mobility, so having a car can be a lifesaver when it's time to rotate. Last but not least, get familiar with your landing spots. You need to know where the high value loot is. You need to know where you can find a gun right away. You need to know where the power positions are at certain drops. when I drop military and boneyard, I usually land in the same spot because I know there's going to be loot there for my team. I know there's a high chance we're going to get our loadout right away. And I know in these positions, I'm either the safest or we're in danger of being third party. And so wrapping up fights very quickly at those high value drop spots is very important. So get familiar with your landing spots because that can be a game changer early on in the game to get your loadout, get those kills, and start positioning yourself to get that win. So those are 12 game changing tips. If I missed anything, if you feel like there's something super important that I missed, make sure you drop that in the comment below. Guys, I love you guys so much. Oh my gosh, the energy, the vibes, the comments, the likes, everything has been off the chain. So I really appreciate you guys. I'm having so much fun bringing value to you guys. And so make sure you come over to Twitch, drop the follow. I'll link that to the description below. The community is growing in Discord. We're having so much fun. I play with you guys on Friday. So today is Friday. Make sure you go hit that follow button on Twitch so you get that notification when I go live so we can get some games in together. We can hang out. We get to know each other. We can do all that. As always, guys, if you like the video, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. And drop into Verdance and frag out. Peace.